If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to build something big, go with other co-founders. So I have two other amazing powerhouse male co-founders in our main holding company, and I wouldn't be able to do any of the businesses without them. I think my gift has been knowing what I'm worst at, knowing what I lack, knowing what I don't love doing, and delegating that immediately. We humans, whenever we focus on where we are great at, we tap into this level of superhuman power, and we are highly disciplined, and our view of ourselves, our ideas about ourselves change. Whenever I only focus on doing the things I love, I become a money magnet. And I have experienced this in my life, in other people's lives. So whenever you say no to anything that are in your lowest priority, you're increasing your value and you're becoming this money magnet. I'm Nevsah Mehmet. I'm a very popular self-mastery teacher, and I have been teaching self-mastery for over 25 years. My company, my main company, which is Nevsah Institute, which is an educational digital platform, have been going on for 22 years. And I have trained over 40,000 people, trained over 2,000 coaches and teachers. And I'm kind of like very well known in the space. You can call it like Tony Robbins of Turkey. And that has been my main business for 22 years. And I'm a serial entrepreneur. So on top of that business, I am still leading multiple companies. We have one holding company with my co-founders, and we have different companies underneath that. We have a wellness app studio. We're actually a wellness venture studio. And we have different companies underneath the family company, which is the holding company. We have Wellness App Studio. We buy wellness apps who are having a hard time growing, or we acquire them, or we build wellness apps and release into the market with my two co-founders. We also have another company, and we are building hospitality brands like hotels, wellness centers, detox centers, grow them, sell them. We then have a beauty company. We build beauty products. We build beauty apps. We build beauty products. I have three companies, main companies here in the UK of myself, which is one of them is the educational company, which has been my main business. I am, like I said, a serial entrepreneur, also an investor. I have been investing in the startup space for over 9 years now. I have worked with amazing founders, invested in startups. I'm an LP in multiple VCs. And we have built an accelerator here in London because I love working with entrepreneurs, founders. And with my main business, I got very popular in 5 to 6 years, and I was a multimillionaire when I was 35, and I then kept on building businesses. I kind of like found a very unique formula about business, very much aligned to your mission and to your purpose. Because my background is behavioral health sciences, because I'm a teacher, but I'm also a serial entrepreneur. Being a serial entrepreneur and a teacher helped me to find different formulas on how to grow businesses, basically, how to build businesses from scratch and how to grow businesses. That's why we have an accelerator. We have 8 to 9 companies in every cohort. So our new cohort is starting in February. We have 7 brilliant young founders, entrepreneurs we're going to be working with. We are investing our time, our energy, also sometimes money. We connect them with VCs and investors, and here in the UK and US and Middle East and in Turkey. I also have another company because we do real estate investments. We have a real estate consultancy company as well, because I sometimes collaborate with other people and invest together. We are, as a family, investing in real estate as well. My husband is coming from the Kara Mehmet family, who is one of the most well-known names in the Turkish business world. They are ex-owners of Turkcell, which is the telecommunication company of Turkey. So we're a highly resourceful family. I use my husband's resources when I'm helping, companies I invest in, and the entrepreneurs and the founders I invest in, because he can basically reach to anyone in the world in 2 phone calls, including American president or anyone. He can reach to anyone in 2 phone calls. So that's kind of like a big resource for me when it comes to investing and helping startup founders. Not only startup founders, but also any entrepreneur, any founder who need the network and who need the funds and who need the resources. And what I'm doing basically in the entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial world is, with my 25 years of expertise, being a serial entrepreneur, being a business owner myself, having built multiple businesses with a couple of successful exits, with still a woman being a woman leading multiple businesses, also knowing the formula of how a human, how an individual can reach to her or his highest potential. I use my expertise, combine my expertise with my resources and my network, and basically help entrepreneurs, small or big business owners, grow their businesses by being part of their businesses. So a couple of years ago, because in the Nevsah Institute, we have different educational journeys. Like we have one educational journey on business mastery, another one on relationship, another one on financial mastery. So because I've been teaching in the business mastery and I've been experiencing myself as a teacher in the business mastery program, a couple of years ago, I told to myself, I'm not really enjoying myself when I teach formulas to business owners, when like someone attends to our business mastery program and they pay, and they can of course get the formulas and get help from us when building their company and grow their companies. But I'm enjoying that as much as me being part of their companies. Because I had my investor hat on and I had some experiences with successful exits, with successful companies. As you know, you can get, although it's risky, you can get 5 to 10x or 100x if you only invest in 50 companies and get only result with 2 companies. But personally, I like being part of the companies as an investor, as a shareholder. And it's kind of like, that's my thing. When I'm a shareholder, I'm full on. I spend more time with the founder. I find solutions. When I'm involved in their businesses, even if I get 10% of their companies, I start acting like a co-founder, and we build the company faster, and there's a higher chance of them exiting or building companies faster. So I decided a couple of years ago, okay, people can still get the business mastery program. We still have hundreds of people who are in our program, but I'm personally more interested in our company, which is the accelerator, which is NevCap. I'm personally more interested in, just building companies, meaningful businesses hand in hand with founders and entrepreneurs. So that's where I am now. I'm spending more and more of my time in NevCap, which you will find the details here. I mean, this is our accelerator program, which is kind of like, I feel like it's our baby, although I have a couple of other babies. Like we're building this new, very trendy, I think it's going to be kind of like I think the one unique wellness and detox center that is both boutique, but also hand in hand with technology. Although that's kind of like, that's one of my babies as well. We're growing right now. This is kind of like, I think, the one who I love working in the most, because I'm at an age, 50, where I have all these experience, 25 plus years of experience, expertise. I started my first business when I was 22. I was leading a team of 85 people when I was 25. We had a local TV station. We exited later on. And then I kept on businesses. I exited multiple companies. I kept on building businesses. Also on the side, kept on teaching. I became a very popular teacher with my community. And then, startups and investing and this and that. So I have all these expertise I'm sitting on, literally. And I'm at a level it's a stage in my life where I'm like, okay, how can I help other founders, like young founders and entrepreneurs, use that expertise, use that network of mine, use whatever I have, and and how can I be part of meaningful, amazing businesses, innovative ideas. I love building businesses, obviously, and I also know that I can't do that on my own. So I either collaborate with founders or build businesses with other co-founders. That's where I am. And like each and every woman, I'm a high. I think I'm the highest level of multitasking. I have, over the years, I have realized that just focusing on one business is not my thing, because that's literally like killing my potential. I'm someone who can't lead less than 5 businesses at a time. So that's why I have 5+ companies I'm leading, or I'm a board member of, at least. And now with the investments, I'm a board member in over 20 companies, which is just lovely. I just love it. And when you're part of different companies and leading different companies at the same time, because you're in and out of meetings with all these young founders with innovative ideas and amazing ideas, you tend to be this individual who just finds solutions to problems in less than 5 minutes. You're just, okay, tell me your problem. And I'm like, bam, 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 you can do this and this and this and this and that. And that's where I am right now. So, yeah. And I am here to support founders. That's basically it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What a journey. It's
Yeah.
amazing. 5 companies at once.
Yeah, I'm dumbfounded by one.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Yeah, but I have co-founders, and I think that's kind of like, that's the one thing that's like my biggest advice to anyone. And you probably heard, it's very cliche, but if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to build something big, go with other co-founders. So I have 2 other amazing powerhouse male co-founders in our main holding company, and I wouldn't be able to do any of the businesses without them. And we have amazing teams in all of our companies. We have general managers in all of the companies. They're just doing great. So I'm kind of like just advising, giving them ideas, vision, mission, just check how the companies are doing. And I have been lucky enough, and I feel blessed to have my 2 co-founders, and then my other 2 co-founders in the other 2 companies. So my main business, Nevsah Institute, is still a small business, because that's my main business and I'm only doing it alone. And I chose to do it. I chose that business to stay like that. Because it's my baby and I didn't want to share it. I didn't want investors, although there have been people asking me whether I want an investor, or because it's a profitable business going on for 22 years. I said no, kept on saying no, because I don't want anyone to get involved in it. It's my ideas, it's my project. It's like, and that's just earning a couple of million every year, and that's that. It's like that stayed that way. But if you want to grow businesses and if you want to get bigger, I don't think it can happen without co-founders. And we women, I think, need male co-founders to support us in our journey. Because, and I think that like one of the best things I'm good at, like one of the best things I do, I think, is knowing what I lack and what I suck at. Like one of them is finance. And I'm like, do not ever get me on charge of the finance. I'm like, so in my team, I either have experts I work with, or one of my co-founders right now he just loves that whole and he's like, that's your thing. I think knowing what you lack, what you're horrible at, is really, really important. And then delegating that to someone who is best at that. And I think my gift has been knowing what I'm worst at, knowing what I lack, knowing what I don't love doing, and delegating that immediately. And that's why, although I seem like leading many companies, in those companies and projects, I only do what I love because I'm just clear on what I love. I'm clear on what I do the best. And because I'm clear, everyone I work with, they are clear on what I'm best at. Like I'm great at sales and marketing and storytelling and being the influencer. I'm horrible at the back end. So I'm like, don't ever give me the back end because it's going to be a mess. I know where I'm messy and I'm what I'm good at. So I'm only focusing on what I love the most, where I'm best at, where I get the best results, and leave the rest. And that's how you create multiple businesses. So I'm not spending time on things I don't like doing. And that's what I teach to the founders as well. Because if you're only doing what you love during the day, when we do what we love, we are highly resourceful, we are highly intelligent, we are wise, we're productive, we are focused and disciplined. It's kind of like, I think I have found the formula to success in any business. And it's kind of like only do what you love and stick to what you love and just leave the rest behind. Why? Because from a human behavior point of view, from a behavioral science point of view, we are only disciplined and focused and inspired and intelligent, resourceful on the areas we love doing. It's like we are all unsuccessful and horrible at things we don't love doing. And it's kind of like there is this formula. There have been this, maybe you've heard of it. There has been this research on school children, and there were two groups of children. And in one group, they focused on the lessons they weren't doing well at, and they supported the children on the lessons they weren't doing well at. And the grades increased on those areas, but the grades decreased on the areas they were already going good at. So it's kind of like they supported the areas they weren't doing good at, and they increased the grades, while the grades of, at the lessons they were already doing good at decreased. And then in the other group, they only focused on the areas they were already doing good at. And what they saw is, while their grades were increasing, for example, they were great at math and physics, and they were just getting maybe 6 out of 10, their grades increased to 7 or 8, and then the other grades increased as well. And when they interviewed the children, they saw that it's kind of like that's human behavior and human psychology. It's kind of like whenever we are supported at the areas we are best at, we kind of like tap into this level of superhuman, and we're kind of like, I'm just doing super great. Of course, I'm going to do better with the other ones as well. Of course, I'm going to, do the rest of the things. So it's kind of like we humans, whenever we focus on where we are great at, we tap into this level of superhuman power, and we are highly disciplined, and our view of ourselves, our ideas about ourselves change. And for example, for me, when I invest in startups and founders, I would like my founders to tap into that level of intelligence and wisdom, because that way I lower my risk. So actually, the NevCap Accelerator is all about lowering my risk as an investor, or lowering the risk of investors and VCs, because if I can help the founders tap into that level where they experience themselves as superhuman, and I can help them tap into that level by teaching them tools to delegate everything they're doing, everything they don't love doing, and only focus on what they love doing. They're just tap into this geniusness. They have all kinds of creative ideas. I watch that happen. I've been watching that happen for many years now. It's just amazing. It's like, you become this extra disciplined and purposeful and focused and organized individual, and you're like, wow, I'm great at business when you delegate things you don't love.
Who would you say, what role do you think is the most important person to come in full time? Because I've got my own social media agency, and I have an army of freelancers who I love. I'm getting to the point now where I need somebody to come in who I can delegate over to, so I can go and do all the things that I'm not anything. But who would you put as that first proper big hire in order to do all those kinds of things you just shared?
I mean, what I usually, when I work with founders, what I usually suggest is, there is a book called "It's Not Who, It's How."
Okay.
Sorry, it's not how, it's who. It's the opposite. Yeah. So I have seen in the business, it's kind of like the first step, I think, is as founders, knowing ourselves, knowing our values, knowing our priorities, what we love the most. So it's like, what I suggest is, make a list of everything you're doing during the day, everything from phone calls to checking emails to every stupid little thing you would call, make a list. It can be, I don't know, like 500 little things you're doing during the day. And even like cooking, like everything. It doesn't have to be business related. And after you make that list, give a number from 10 to 1, 10 to 0. Give a number thinking of course, 1 being the lowest, thinking of how fulfilled you are doing that task. 10 being the highest, fulfillment, and 5 low, and like 3 the lowest. Delegate everything that's below 5. Why? Because if you don't, first of all, you're decreasing your own value. And money flows to, and I'm teaching a program called Financial Mastery, and I have become a master in governing wealth. And building wealth have been one of my priorities for a long time, and I'm doing pretty good at it. So, and over the years, I have realized that whenever I do things that are low in my priority, whenever I do things I don't enjoy or I'm not fully fulfilled, I'm decreasing my value, and money flows to value. So money flows to people who value themselves. So me deciding and saying, I'm not freaking doing these things that I enjoy the least, is increasing my value. So whenever I only focus on doing the things I love, I become a money magnet. And I have experienced this in my life, in other people's lives. So whenever you say no to anything that are in your lowest priority, you're increasing your value and you're becoming this money magnet. So if you're thinking something like, okay, but I have to do this. No, you don't have to do this. And every time you do things, saying, I have to do this, you're just lowering your value. Stop that.
Oh my God.
You know, stop. So, make a list. Make a list. Delegate everything below 5. And then the other question is, so the other thing is, and this is basic human behavior. This is like behavioral science. We humans are more productive, more focused, more disciplined, more inspired. We tap into our geniusness whenever we're in action we love the most. So think of the things you love the most. You're more creative, you're more disciplined, you're more organized. You're a superhuman. You know, whenever we're doing things we love, so it's like, why don't we just stop doing everything else and spend our days only doing the things we love the most?
Yeah.
And that's how, for example, as an investor, I lower my risk as an investor because I don't want to invest in a founder who is doing low priority things. I want to invest in a founder who is a superhuman doing only the things she loves doing, because that's where she becomes unstoppable. So in the business world and in life, if you want to become unstoppable, there's a formula for that. Find the things you love the most. Find the things you are most inspired, most organized, most fulfilled. Of course, you know, in our business mastery program or the accelerator, we teach certain methods and certain formulas for a couple of hours and all that. You break them down, but I'm sure you can do that on your own as well. So focus on what you love the most. Focus on what you're most disciplined on, focused on what you love doing, and only do those, and you're a superhuman and you're unstoppable. And then look at the areas below 5. So instead of thinking, who can I hire? Look at the things you want to delegate and start thinking, who would be best at doing these? And search for those people, like who would be best? And just think of everyone you know. And whenever you're announcing a job, you know, or whenever you want to hire someone, just tell people like, I would like someone who enjoys doing these. And look out for people who love doing those, not people who just say they are experts on that. It's like, you know, like one of my co-founders, he just loves creating business plans and financial projections and finances and the, you know, anything that would attract investors, and I just leave it to him. And he knows that I love, like now, shooting videos, and I love inspiring people. I love being the visionary. I love teaching. I love speaking. I love sales, the whole marketing process. So they leave those to me. So once you are clear on where you are unstoppable, and there are a lot of investors, business accelerators, I think you can't be successful even in one business if you're trying to do everything, because we are human and we are horrible at some things, you know. It's just quit.
Your finances. I think as a business owner, we have this belief that we're supposed to know the numbers and we're supposed to have all of our forecasts inside out, back to front. That's always been my
Yes, we do. We do. But it's like, as founders, and you don't need to be a solo founder. Yes, as founders, we need to know. So if finance is what you lack, find a co-founder.
Yeah, I'm great at making money. Can't tell you
Find a co-founder who is good at finances. Because yes, I agree. I think as founders, we need to be on top of the finances. But when you speak of founders, we're speaking about the founder team. When it comes to, I think AI and all the robotics, it's like, because I've invested a lot of time and energy on understanding what a human is. And basically a human is a meaning searching biomechanism. Because of our search for meaning and because of our soulful essence, AI or robotics can't even get close to a human who is soulful and who is intuitive, empathic. It's not going to get close to, but it will replace the others. Like if you don't have, if you don't have high EQ, if you can't communicate, if you don't have those basic, not even basic right now, because the AI and robots will have basic human skills. It's not about basic human skills anymore. It's like if you're functioning with basic human skills, forget about, like, you'll be wiped out business wise. That's my idea. You need a bit above that, like real human skills, which is intuitive and which is like, yeah, like that communication. And I have joined other accelerators. I had my own startups. So I got invested and I joined accelerators. So when it comes to getting the investment and when it comes to creating the pitch deck, it's a very soulful process. So I think, sincerely, AI can't get close to a pitch deck created by a soulful human, intuitive, with innovative ideas. Like, we can still get some support from AI, ChatGPT or whatever, but it's like on top of it, what we as humans put on top of that, like maybe you change bits, small things when you're going to different investors. It's like that can't be done with AI. It's like, I think if you can somehow differentiate and somehow create a new message for the market stating, because you know what people think right now, and that's great. So the question is, how can you create a message that's going to just sit on top of that? It's like, okay, I know AI can do, but AI can't do this, and I'm doing that.